Welcome, my name is Yev, and today I'm going to be talking how to use your brain to the best of your abilities, or pretty much how to take the best advantage of the brain that you already have. Next slide. So why did I start this? Why did I start to think about the brain? So all of us, we have 24 hours in a day, right? And we have 7 days in a week and 365 days in a year. But I wanted to do a bunch of shit, as you can see here, right? I just didn't have time for all of it because it's limited, and I wanted to do it all. So I tried to figure out, okay, I need to figure out how can I become smarter, how can I use my brain as much as I possibly can so I can squish it completely and do all this successfully. Next one. And yeah, pretty much I came up with this top 10 of brain boosters. So number 1, it's good brain diet. This is a good brain diet, okay? Avocados, blueberries, broccoli, eggs, dark chocolate, green leafy vegetables, etc., etc. At the end, we can leave it here so you can take a picture and cook for yourself at home. Why good brain diet is important? If you're not eating the nutrients and vitamins that your brain uses on a daily basis, well, your brain isn't really going to perform as well. Second one, brain nutrients. Why am I talking about brain nutrients if I was just talking about brain diet? Well, in here, I actually recommend you to go to the doctor and do a checkup and ask him, is there any nutrients and vitamins lacking in my usual diet? Okay, and he's gonna give you whatever is good for your body is also good for your brain, okay? Next one is exercise, mental and physical. What does it mean? Mental exercise is pretty much chess, scramble, crosswords, those IQ games on your cell phone, chess, whatever you want it to be, okay? You have to practice, you have to exercise your mind, but you also have to exercise your body, okay? You cannot have a healthy mind, a healthy brain without a healthy body, okay? Not everybody can be a Stephen Hawking, okay? So killing ants. What is ants? It's an acronym for automatic negative thoughts. All of us, we have them, okay? But we have to turn them off somehow. We have to distract ourselves from them. Every time we think something negative, eventually, the more we nourish it, the worse it gets. There were, you can read about this, it's really, really great. Pretty much the philosophy behind this is really simple. What you think becomes what you speak becomes what you do defines who you are. So take care of the thoughts that you have in your brain. Next one is clean environment. Why is it important? You cannot have a messy environment and organized mind, because your environment, your desk, is actually a reflection of what's happening inside here, okay? If you just go and see what's the desk or the office of multi-billion-dollar companies' CEOs looks like, it's not a pile of crap, okay? It's really, really well organized and clean desk. Positive peer group. This is really important. If you hang out around negative people, you're probably not going to be a very positive person for a long run, okay? This is really important. We are, all of us, we heard this, we are the average of 4 or 5 people who we hang out with. It's really, really necessary to choose those people well, okay? Even if we have to say no to our family, well, that's life. Sorry. Brain protection. This is a really important one, and I cannot stress this enough. How I use thinking. If you want to use your brain to the best of its abilities, why don't you use a helmet every time you use your bicycle? Or every time you go on a driving your motorbike, okay? Every time you fall off the bicycle or motorbike, or if you practice fighting sports, so boxing or kung fu or whatever the case is, your brain gets punched, your brain gets lesions all over and over and over again. Your brain won't perform as well if he gets punched every once in a while. So use the helmet. New learnings. You have to always be learning new things, okay? Our brain is a muscle, and if you're not learning, you pretty much are not really getting smarter, quite the opposite, okay? So always be learning, always be practicing. Take half an hour every single day, always be learning. Stress management. That one is really important. Why? Because every time you are in a stress mode, right, you are not in the growth mode, which is where you want to be. Because if you are in a stress mode, you are in a survival situation, okay? Your brain is he's ringing the bells, he's ringing the sirens, he's just trying to survive. He cannot be growing, he cannot be performing at his best if he's just trying to survive. So avoid stress. The best way to do this is like, whatever stresses you, it's probably not aligned with your, whatever it stresses you, it's not aligned with whoever you are, okay? Just like, figure out a way to go around it and take it out of your life. It's either jobs, maybe people, tasks, whatever it is. Sleep. You cannot cut corners on sleep and hope that your brain will perform at its best. It's just not gonna happen, okay? For me personally, I never set my alarm clock in the morning. I wake up whenever I wake up, and that's it. That's how I take the biggest advantage of my brain. You cannot just sleep 4, 5, 6 hours and then hope like, oh, it's gonna be genius. No, it's not. It's not gonna happen. Next one. So I'm gonna leave this presentation with this last quote. Follow your heart, but take your brain with you. And tip number 11, and that's probably the most important one. You're not gonna be able to any effect if you are lazy. Okay, that's the tip number 11. Sorry, guys. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. The rest. Woo! Push it to the last one if you want. Yeah. You can get in touch with me if you have any questions, or you can ask them now.
I have a question.
Yes.
First question, because I'm sort of starting a whole foods diet at the moment, because I'm kind of interested in this idea that diet affects brain.
Yep.
So my question is, have you experienced a sufficiently long period of time where you've had a poor diet, and that you are able to compare what your sort of mood is compared to eating a healthy diet? Because I'm interested, is there a major benefit in eating healthy foods? Do you feel better? Do you feel more optimistic? Do you feel energized, etc.? Have you always had a healthy diet?
I have been tracking my brain's performance for like a year and a half now, and pretty much almost every week I'm setting records, okay? I'm challenging myself. So the way you can test that, for example, is like eat unhealthy for like a month.
I've done that already.
Okay. Okay. Now that you've done that, now that you've done that, push your brain to its limits. So really test your brain, like IQ tests, a bunch of other things that like brainstormings and all of that stuff. Like really push your brain to your ultimate limit, see how you perform, measure it, and then eat healthy for 1 month and see how you perform afterwards. Like from what I'm guessing, it's going to be an increase in at least like 10-20%, maybe more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And do you have any opinions about gut health? Like I've been kind of researching this recently, and they say that serotonin is produced in the gut, and that affects mood and things like this. And taking wide spectrum antibiotics can kill your gut bacteria and things like this. Do you have anything to add on this area?
On mood, yes. So the thing is, your brain, you have to be happy for your brain to perform well as well, because like your happiness, your state of mind is actually also impacting tremendously your brain. If I'm happy, my brain is like firing up, it's like working really well. If I'm miserable, it's like it's barely moving forward, So like the mood influences, the state of mind influences the brain performance, but I have no research about, I don't know enough about the gut. Sorry.
I'm dominating a little bit too much, but I have one more question because it's very interesting. Do you have an opinion about alcohol? Because for me, alcohol is a social lubricant, but also I recognize it's a poison for your body.
Exactly.
So do you have any opinion on that?
So as you can see, I'm drinking a little bit of beer. Yes, you can leave it there. But, but there's a but. As soon as I start to feel an effect of the alcohol on my brain, I stop.
Okay.
Yeah, because what it does, it kills your brain cells. That's something that you don't want. So usually maybe I get drunk once a year, but that's it.
It actually doesn't kill brain cells.
No? Okay.
Not directly.
Okay. Yes.
Going back to your list, there's a lot of things on that list that seem really interesting and beneficial.
Yeah.
But let's say you have to pick your top 3, top 4. What would, sleep is number 1.
Stress. People and killing ants.
What's ants again?
Automatic negative thoughts. So probably you get there easier with meditation. Okay, so you have to notice your thoughts as negative thoughts as soon as they come, and you just have to switch the gear, and that's it. This is really important. Yeah. Next. No?
I'm trying to this question.
Which one?
The one on alcohol. What about psychedelics?
What?
Psychedelics.
Well, besides weed, I haven't tried anything else. Sorry. So I haven't tested. You have to like really test it, and not just with one person, maybe with a group of people. Thank you so much, guys.
Well done.